everybody. We're splitting hairs here. We're gonna flip this thing. What we're doing, we're actually making up the gap. Honey, yeah, honey, you're cracking the opposite side there. Yeah, honey, not. Okay. So what we're doing, yeah, because it's cracking the wood. Okay. So we're gonna split this wood here, and we're angling it like kind of like a ramp kind of a thing. And the reason we're doing that, and we're using this technique instead of the saber saw, because the bottom of the saber saw blade will swing, and you'll get a thin thing and a thick thing, and it doesn't cut straight like the top of the blade. So basically what that is, that's a spacer, because when we put the chines on here, they're going to start here, and then of course they're going to go down, but you've got that gap between here and here, so that's the basic transition ramp to here for every one of these. And we got to make 9 of these. We got 3, 6, 9 right there. So that's what those guys are for. So we'll see if those work or not. So we'll be back with more splitting hairs from my paradise on Bantayan Island. Bye for now. With a grinder, with an angle grinder and a cutoff blade. It seems to work better than the saber saw does. So we will be back. Well, we'll see. I think it will, actually. He did it before. This is one of the boat building brothers here. So we'll be back with more from my paradise on Bantayan Island. We're making transition ramps for the chines. Bye for now. Kind of get the basic idea of what we're doing here with this transition. We're going to grind these down so they're smooth, because they're kind of lumpy from our cuts, but we're going to grind them down with the angle grinder because they're smooth. So this helps the chine transition from here over to here and over to here, and then out until the finish there. So we need to make 3 more. These are a little more thick here. This is almost like a ½ inch, and these are actually 3/8 here. So these are finishing out nicely here, but we got to do a little adjustment for these 3. So as you can see where we've got these marked, I've actually sanded the lines to get the paint clean and kind of rough it up to get it ready to accept the epoxy. So you can see the lines that we marked, and from the center here to the center here is 8 inches, and vice versa, and also here, of course, center to center, these are 8 inches for the chines. So me and the roosters will be back with more from my paradise on Bantayan Island. Bye for now. Here we go. I got to cut. See, what we came up with, we start cutting with the angle grinder, and we cut about that deep on both sides, and then we follow up with a saber saw, because the saber saw blade at the bottom will sway depending on the hardness of the wood. But if we groove it with that top and bottom, see, like this, the blade will follow the other groove on the opposite side down here, and it'll make a nice clean cut. So that's our technique for cutting these chine sliders, I'm going to call them. So we'll be back with more from my paradise on Bantayan Island. We got chines. Bye for now. Putting on the chines on the center hole now. So we just about got them all down. This one's going to end here, but we'll cut it with a handsaw, and this longer one's going to go all the way to the tip here. You can see the lines that we've drawn. If I can get the lighting right, yeah, see right here, that's where that one goes, and this one ends here just like that one. They're straight across from each other, or they should be. This one's a little bit longer. I need to fix that, because that one's further down than this one, but I'll cut it later. But yeah, we cut our little slider things, ramps, to transition from one cut to the next cut so that everything's filled in here. Yeah. So get it all filled, and then try to get them to use more epoxy, but they don't get, you see the holes in there. But I'm gonna help them add some epoxy to this, and we'll be back with more. So my paradise on Bantayan Island, we're putting in chines. Bye for now. Hey everybody, we're here the morning after we put the chines on. So we got them all set up, and as you can see, we had to let the epoxy dry last night, so that's why we're at this stage this morning. And of course, we made them longer than what they need to be, and then we just cut them off at like an angle, you know, at the end where they're supposed to be cut off. And then I got to grind like a little 45 on the edge of both sides of these, you know, angled down and angled down to just make them look kind of nice and smoother instead of such a sharp edge like that. And then after that, we'll be ready to flip this baby over and start building the crossbeam supports for the center hull. These are done. Built, not assembled, not epoxy nailed and bolted. These are done here, not epoxy nailed and bolted. Same with that one and that one. So we got to do this guy here next, and after the chines are done, we will do it, and we'll be back with more. We got chines from my paradise on Bantayan Island. And bye for now. This morning I'm going to cut these chines off where they're supposed to be cut. We got marks right here. This front one goes to here, this one to here, and that one should be to the same size, but I think that's a little further up, so I'm going to cut this one, trim it, and get it set up first, and then put like a square across here and find out where that one should start, because it should be about the same place, so, or should be the same place. So, and then I got to grind down the sides to 45 degrees, just about halfway down. And then maybe after that, we'll be ready to flip this boat over and start doing the crossbeam supports in the center hull. So we are going to get busy, and we'll be back with more from my paradise on Bantayan Island. Bye for now. This is a unfinished chine, and this is a finished chine. I put you can see like a 45 roughly on the sides, smoothed it all out. Got all the wood looking good and nice. All the way down. I'm debating myself whether I should coat these in epoxy and just leave it. I mean, eventually, before we're done, it's going to be coated in epoxy. But just how many times, I guess, I coat this thing. And then finish it off at the end. Nice, rounded, smooth transition. So now I got to do 2 more of these, so that's a long one, and this is the next short one. So here we go. Got the grinder up here. We're going to town. This is what I look like when I'm grinding. My shirt, my arm. It's dusty, dirty work, but the end results, it's worth it all. So we'll be back with more grinding the chines from my paradise on Bantayan Island. Bye for now. Alright everybody, we got all the chines ground down. Right there, got the 45s on the sides here. Smoothed out this a little bit, rounded off the ends and the starts. So you see everything's all 45. We got a lot of epoxy dust and wood dust everywhere and all over me. But basically the chines are where and what they should be for now. I mean, we'll epoxy them and paint them later, but be careful when you don't put enough epoxy on, because see that there? That's a hole. That's a hole where there's no glue and there's no epoxy. And that's why I tell them put so much epoxy that it squirts out the side, then you got to know you're 100%. Here's one more. You see right here? You see where this gray is? That's where the epoxy didn't stick to this, otherwise it would have pulled off the paint. So there's an air hole right where that dark gray is. Same here. See the air hole right here going into here? That's not enough epoxy. So epoxy is expensive, you know, but if you don't put enough, well, you get water inside of your wood, in the little holes, tiny holes and stuff, and then it stays there and starts rotting your wood, and then you got to replace your wood at some point because there wasn't enough epoxy used to seal it properly. So anyway, we are chined to the max, and we'll be back with more chines from my paradise on Bantayan Island. Bye for now. Hey everybody. I don't know if you've really ever seen our work site, but this is basically it. We got all of our lumber here, plywood, and we bought a lot of cocoa wood to make those little saw horses. Wasn't sure how much we'd need, but we got a little extra there. But these are all of our 1x2s for the supports, cross bracing on the hulls. This is our Lawan for all of our other building. Over here we've got two 12-foot Lawan, and there's another 12-foot one under there somewhere, but these are the two we're going to use for the cross bracing. And then of course we got some 3/8 inch leftovers here. We got 4 sheets of this. I have no idea why we got 4 sheets, but they told me to order more and I didn't. I mean, we got to put tops on these. That's not, it's just going to be really short. It's going to be maybe back to where that brace is, and that's about it. So we don't need hardly any of that. Everybody, we have lined up all the cross beams to see how they're going to line up, and this is basically it right here. We got this one here is permanent. This one here comes out. If we want to, separate this hole from this hole, and over there that hole from this hole, so we can get them out of the water and store them. So this one is permanent. It's permanently attached to the boat. This one, obviously, that it's connected to is permanent, and that one is the exact same thing as the outer hull on this side. That's permanent. Now this one here, this one will come out. This will be bolted through like here and here, and not the other one here and here, so that we can take the bolts out. They're stainless steel bolts. We'll take them out, and then we can separate the holes. And of course there'll be bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, 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 and then 2 up here. These two will be going through basically 4x4 thickness. These two here will be going through 3 2x4. So we got basically 3 inches and another 1.5 inches. So that's 4.5 inches of wood. That's how long those stainless steel bolts are going to have to be, long enough to go through 4.5 inches of wood, and I think we have those already. There's a stainless steel bolt placed right by where my brother-in-law, of course, at the back of the boat. Here, the rudder is actually on the wrong side. The rudder goes on this side, this arm, the steering arm here. You can see as you turn that, I've got to get a larger rudder than this. This one's too short and it's too small. I need a 36 inch and 9 inch by 10 inch down there. So I don't know what that is, maybe 5 by 8, something like that, and I need 9 by 10 and a 36 inch here so that it goes deeper down into the water, because only about a half or a third of this is in the water, so it's not really working, it's not really doing its job. So anyway, it's about 4 quarter till 5. Is that what we're seeing here? 4 till 5. My watch is all like, no, 4:15. 4:15. So we're going to do a couple more. We're going to do the other side, this one here. Once you've got one done, the other side's not exactly the same, but it's close enough that you can kind of model after it and then make adjustments kind of on the fly. So we are going to do the other side here, and we'll be back with more tedious, time-consuming, labor-intensive cross beam support. Oh, the other thing, let me show you that we did. We went and got all of our mahogany milled, and got it to the exact same size as our Lawaan wood, because we're going to use mahogany in the permanent cross beams here, because it's a stronger wood. And we may even use it with the removable ones. We're going to see. The thing is, mahogany, when you get it cut, it's still kind of wet. And if you just leave it to lay, it can twist and warp and bow and bend and all kinds of stuff. So what we did, we took the ones that were bowed going out and in, and we paired them up, and then we squeezed the bowed parts in. And we got all these C-clamps, and trying to keep them all straight, and hopefully they will dry and stay straight if we clamp them and kind of force them. So it takes about 4 days to dry. The problem is that the outside is obviously going to dry, but the center where the two sandwich, that's going to stay more wet. So I don't know how that's going to affect. At some point we may have to unclamp these after a couple of days and then flip them and let the inside dry, but still be in a clamped state of hopefully straight. And because all of the Lawaan, as you can even see in this thing, is just straight as an arrow. It's really nice, clean wood. It stays straight, but it's a little softer and a little, it's not as strong. And also the mahogany is very water resistant, bug resistant, all kinds of, resistant as far as boat use. So anyway, we will be back with more. This is what we're doing today. Getting all of our mahogany milled, clamping it down so it stays straight and hopefully doesn't bow at the, after a few days. And that's about it for today. So anyway, we will be back with more from my paradise on Bantayan Island. We're clamping mahogany to keep it straight. Bye for now.